Welcome back to Taking Back 25. So, how do we head into retirement? I'm almost 56 years old, being a first responder for almost 30 years. Started my career as an advanced care paramedic for a major city. Then, since 2008, I've become a advanced care paramedic slash firefighter. Now, after 30 years of doing my gig, I've also run a business since 2006. So I've been basically almost doing 2, 3 jobs for 20 plus years. So it's time to change. And like many of us at this age, we kind of want to get prepared for retirement. And after helping so many people throughout my career, mostly elderly, after them telling me, you know what, life goes by fast, don't take it for granted. And I kind of feel like I have a little bit. So in this channel, sorry guys, the mosquitoes are terrible. I kind of want to talk about getting prepared for retirement. So what do we have to do? Well, the biggest thing I kind of found out through 30 years as a first responder is you got to take as much muscle as you can. Be fit. And you know what? It's not going to be easy. A few years ago, I did this channel, Taking Back 25, in a pure sense of wanting to get fit, get muscular. And I did that. But since then, life has kind of gotten in the way and I kind of let myself go a little bit. So it's time to get that back, because I do find the more muscle you have going into old age, the easier it is to actually move around and get things done. Even going to the washroom, getting out of the bathtub, all that kind of stuff. It makes it a lot easier. Sorry, we live out in the country, so you're gonna get some dogs barking in the odd car. So I really want to focus on, so many of us, we need to take that muscle with us because it's so important to be strong as we age. But I also want to focus on, am I ready? Are you ready? Can we all retire? Now, I have a good friend, he does a YouTube channel about being retired, and he's retired already. And he really made me start to think about things. Sorry, a little short of breath because going up a pretty good hill and it's warm. And, you know, I really do feel like I need to retire. Does it mean that I'm going to give up my side gig? I don't know. When I retire, I'll more than likely retire from being a first responder. You know what, like I said, next year, November is my goal. I've been doing this for that'll be 30 years as a first responder, and I feel like that's enough. I'm ready to change things up. And also with retirement, what am I gonna do when I do retire? Yeah, I got my side gig, but do I revisit things that I liked or wanted to do when I was in my 20s? So I want to kind of look at that too. What decisions have we made that we maybe go, maybe I could have done something different? I have no regrets, don't get me wrong, but there are things I wouldn't mind maybe chasing down again. And as the channel expands, that's what I'm going to talk about. And I want to hear from you. What do you want to do? I also want to talk about things that, you know, maybe when you were younger, things that you gave up. Maybe things that you'd want to revisit. Sorry guys, I'm short of breath. That's a big hill. Goes to show I gotta do muscle and cardio. But yeah, and that's the kind of thing I wouldn't mind revisiting. There's so many of us that probably made choices, kind of fell into a career, and then 30 years later, bam, you're done. And there's so many of us that probably go, oh, sure wish maybe I got into mechanics, maybe do some auto body or do some acting, that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not going to get into it too much, but you know what? I had a lot of interests when I was in my 20s. And you know what? It all kind of worked out. But now, going into retirement and this challenge of getting fit again and taking back 25, that means, you know, mentally, physically kind of go back to what we were when we were 25. Yeah, am I gonna grow all my hair back and that kind of stuff? No, unless I go to Turkey, but right now I don't got money for that. So I hope with this kind of channel that we can actually get a community. I want to see what people are thinking that are coming up to retirement. What's your plans? Do you feel that, yeah, I need to get in shape. I need to take as much muscle as I can? Because really, we kind of let ourselves not go, but we get comfortable. Every day is the same, in and out, you know, go to job, come back, pay some bills, have breakfast, lunch, dinner, that kind of thing. But it's now you kind of think, I'm gonna have some time on my hands, and I don't want to be that guy or that person that waits that long to retire and something goes horribly wrong within a couple years of my retirement. Like I said, I've helped so many people off the floor of their apartments, bathrooms, just because they're so frail. I worked with a paramedic for many years. He was in his late 60s when I worked with him. And the guy was an ox, huge, muscle bound. Not bodybuilder type, just thick. He kept his muscle. And I'm guessing he's probably in his mid to late 80s and he's still very big and strong. And you know, I looked at that at a younger age and I was impressed back then and I'm impressed right now. So, like I said, I'll probably throw a screenshot up of what I did, 5 or so years ago. I went from overweight, I think I tipped the scales at about 250, 255 at one time, and I got down to under 200. So in this picture that I'm showing, it's not a great picture, but I actually got in really good shape. Yeah, I followed a pretty strict keto diet. Don't know if I'm gonna do that this time, probably not. But I do know diet is very, very important at this stage of life. I can't eat carbs and pasta like I used to. Sure wish I could. So with that in mind, you know, I have some hobbies. I'm a car guy. My buddy who does YouTube, he has a car channel, retirement channel. He's a car guy, so when we meet up for coffee, there's nothing but good times, good talk. So he kind of got me thinking, you know, retirement is something that he wishes he did even sooner. You know, unfortunately I can't. I still have some young kids that we homeschool, so they're all in high school still. One wants to learn how to fly, which she is doing at a very young age. So, you know what, bills got to be paid. Oh, and then another thing I want to talk about in this channel is who's thinking about moving abroad. Are you leaving the country that you've grown up in, raised a family? Are you thinking about going abroad? I want to talk to people about that, maybe even bring somebody on the show to talk about that. You know, I also want to talk to a financial planner. I have a buddy from high school that's been doing that for 30 years. So talk to him, kind of see what he, what he kind of promotes. But a big thing that my wife and I are thinking about do we go live abroad somewhere where it's a little bit cheaper and our dollar goes further? Being in Canada, things are getting pretty expensive. Not that we don't like Canada, but you know, you want that dollar to go as far as you can. So I'm going to cut short a little bit today, but I do hope many of you sign up and subscribe. I'd love to get as many subs as I can right away. And you know what, the videos to come are going to be me chatting, talking about my workouts, kind of where I am mentally, physically, financially. Yeah, you might see the odd workout, very short little limits of it, what I eat for breakfast, because I want to help people out there too. I've been kind of in the gym since I've been 20. Like I said, I'm 55 right now, so I have some experience there. But so I want to help. You guys help me, I'll help you. And as a community, we can do this. We can take back 25. We don't have to feel like we're older than we are. So until then, thank you, and I look forward to us all working together. See ya.